A bunion is a small thing that can cause big problems. It's affected our next guest's ability to work and her quality of life. Take a look.
Life on a farm is very busy. I am on my feet from the moment I get up until I finally go to bed. A typical day starts before the sun comes up. I feed cows and horses, and then I usually go for a run. I've had bunions as long as I can remember. Your shoes get indented. It can create a change in your gait and affect your balance. The pain started very slowly, and then my feet hurt so bad I had trouble walking. I knew that something had to be done.
Earlier, I sat down with April and her surgeon, Dr. J.P. McAleer, Lapiplasty and Treese Medical Concepts spokesperson. Take a look. April, Dr. McAleer, it's such a pleasure to have the two of you here with us today. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
April, it's been 4 years since you've had your bunion surgery. Tell us how you're doing and how you're feeling.
I feel fabulous. I've been able to get back to my active lifestyle. I was able to start working on my farm again in just a few months after my procedure. I returned to running 10Ks in about 5 months, and I've been running marathons ever since.
That is fantastic. You go, girl. You know, Dr. McAleer, a bunion is a progressive bone deformity that affects both men and women, but more common in women. So explain, what causes a bunion?
Bunions are complex. They're caused by an unstable joint in the midfoot that allows the bone to drift out of position over time. And subsequently, a painful bump can occur at the base of the big toe. The big toe can also drift and lean up against the adjacent toes, and that can cause those digits to deform as well.
You may also experience limited movement of your big toe, swelling, redness, or soreness around that bump. So, April, tell us about your experience with your bunions.
Well, as my bunion got worse, it was difficult to put on my boots, my running shoes were hurting, and I couldn't even walk normally.
I'm so sorry to hear that, April, but bunions are caused by a genetic disposition. It's not something that you did. It's not your fault. You know, although tight shoes and high heels with pointed toes can contribute to their development and make the problem worse, it's not the main cause. And to alleviate pain, people may start wearing shoes that provide more space or padded shoe inserts that help distribute the pressure more evenly. But these solutions may provide only a temporary fix. A common misconception is that a bunion is simply an overgrowth of bone that can be shaved off. So, Dr. McAleer, what treatment options are available?
Well, the most common surgical procedure is called an osteotomy, and this is where the misaligned bone is cut in half, and the top part of the bone is shifted inwards towards the rest of the foot in order to try to reduce the bump. But this does not typically address the root cause of the problem.
And why is that? Why not?
The unstable joint remains, so the bunion is prone to returning. However, a procedure called the Lapiplasty 3D bunion correction, which shifts, rotates, and realigns the deviated bone back into position and secures the unstable joint with patented titanium plates, can be the solution.
And how soon after this surgery is a patient walking again?
Typically, patients that undergo the procedure are walking in a protective boot within 1 to 2 weeks of the surgery.
April, what would you say to those people watching that are suffering with bunions right now?
Well, I wish I wouldn't have waited as long to get my treatment. I did my research, and I am thrilled with the results.
That's fantastic. You know, there are potential risks with surgery, and recovery takes time. So consult with your doctor before undergoing any procedure. April, Dr. McAleer, thank you so much,
Thank you, Dr.
for joining us today.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for important safety information that's coming up.
Be sure to discuss potential risks with your doctor, such as infection, pain, discomfort from the presence of the implant, loosening of the implant, and loss of correction with non-union or malunion, which means that the bone does not heal correctly. As with any medical treatment, individual results vary and experiences discussed are specific to this patient and surgeon only. For more information, including benefit and risk information, please visit alignmytoe.com.